Welcome back to Rubbin Mind. So we just had the weekly news highlight, and as I said before we went on the break, I do have a guest in the house, and all we're going to be discussing is all about money. How can you manage your money? How can you manage your finances in a recessed economy? And today on the show joining me is Arese Ugu. She's an author, the author of Smart Money Woman. Welcome to the show, Arese.
Thank you for having me.
I think this is such a timely topic because everybody's trying to stretch the naira, stretch the kobo. Everybody's thinking 5 ways you can use the naira. Yeah. So when you were writing this book, did you really think that it was going to come at this time?
You know, this is not the first time that I've gotten this question. People say, I said, did you plan it?
Like the prophetess.
Did you plan to release the book when a recession was happening? Well, obviously not. I'm not that good. But I think it did come at a very important time when people are dealing with a lot of money issues, and the book tackles a lot of pain points for Nigerians.
Okay, so let's talk about the economy, this recession and the way things are going, because I was reading the news, if the GDP falls for 2 quarters, two negative quarters, then it's said that the economy is in a recession. So what's your outlook on the Nigerian economy as of now?
I'm sure that I don't even need to say it. It's terrible. Businesses are suffering. People are suffering in general. I feel like we need to be focusing more on, or the government needs to be focusing more on creating a business environment that is friendly, so that the whole, Buy Nigeria thing can really happen, where you make it easier for people to do business. We know all the challenges: access to capital, power, road networks, all of that. We need to start seeing a government that is putting the right things in place so that these businesses can grow. Because the only way that we're going to come out of this recession is if we spend for growth, as opposed to spending on all the, expenses of offices, as we're seeing now.
So spending for growth, we see businesses collapsing. Do you really believe that this is a time for SMEs to actually start to grow? Would you say people who are in paid employment should remain in paid employment because they don't know where the economy is going? Or this is actually a time to branch out, and if the government plays their part, you might be able to succeed?
It's definitely a very interesting time, but I don't subscribe to the, become an entrepreneur for just becoming an entrepreneur's sake. I have a very interesting take on the whole entrepreneurship thing. Becoming an entrepreneur will definitely, or entrepreneurship is definitely a sustainable way to help us, solve unemployment and improve the economy. There are definitely businesses that are going to play a part in that. But I don't think people should leave paid employment just to become an entrepreneur because they think that that is the answer. I think that we should focus, instead of focusing on the two extremes of, 9 to 5 or entrepreneurship, we need to start encouraging people to be entrepreneurial in their thinking. So becoming problem solvers, whether they're in their workplace or whether they're in their business. Because the only way to create value is to solve problems, and value creates, more money. So even if you're in a corporate environment, you need to be thinking, for your organization, what are the pain points of your clients? What do we need to be doing in these times to make more money? What can we do? How can we do that little bit extra to make more money for the company as a whole? And yes, businesses definitely need to get more creative. I've been saying this to all my friends. We need to stop complaining. we need to start
problem solving.
Yes, we need to start paying attention to the things that we are complaining about every day, or your friends are complaining about every day, and break those problems down into smaller components and figure out what skill sets do I have that can solve those problems.
Okay, so basically, rather than looking at the problem, ask yourself, how can I be part of the solution? And if we have that entrepreneurial thinking, whether it's running our business or working in a 9-to-5 company, then we'll be able to get out of the recession much quicker. Okay, very interesting. But still on that topic, do you think this is the time for people to launch into businesses? Because a game company easily comes to mind that was started during the recession in America, and he didn't really realize it was going to be such a big game that we still play till today, and it was done during the recession. And obviously, someone else is benefiting from it. So I'm sure there are people, business owners that are watching and are thinking, if businesses are closing, should I really be starting mine now?
I think if you have a problem to solve and you're well positioned to solve that problem, you have the resources to do it, go for it. I think recessions or hard times make people more creative. Lack makes people more creative. You are all of a sudden thinking about, what can I be doing? How can I be stretching, that naira like a bit further? I think you're more likely to be more aware of what problems you can solve when you're not comfortable, when your resources are limited. So yes, I think if you do have a problem to solve and you're well positioned to solve it, then go for it.
Okay, so let's go to the smart money woman. Okay, does this also apply to the smart money man?
I got a message on Instagram saying, in fact, I'm going to write a book about the smart money man. This is cheating. Yes, I think that the wealth lessons are the same, but I wanted to write for women because I feel like the Nigerian woman is a little bit more vulnerable than the man when it comes to finances. So I feel like the way that we're raised is different. The way they raise men. So
we're not be raised to be independent women and manage our finances.
So I think that men, when they're really young, they're taught that they're going to be providers. So they're going to look after their families. They're going to, they're more likely to be landlords. They're more likely to be very aggressive when it comes to investing. But women were taught to be nurturers, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I found that even though we've become more entrepreneurial, so we know how to make money, more women are going into business, more women are going into the workplace, but we have not learned in any formal framework how to keep it or grow it. And women tend to save to spend.
Yeah.
So even when they're not exactly, so even when they're not frivolous in their spending, they're more likely to contribute significant amounts of money to their household. So things like rent, school fees, and they're all important things, but because we have that mindset that our financial future is a man's responsibility, we don't think enough about saving to build, so building assets that can protect us and our children in the future. I don't think there's anything wrong with women, equally building, assets independently, because unfortunately we live in a society where things can happen very suddenly, and women can be more vulnerable.
Women and children. Okay, so tell us about the book. I mean, it's been out for a while now, and we've been seeing the rave reviews on social media. So what has been the response, and what are people taking away? So if you were to take maybe 3 responses that really got you thinking.
I can't even lie. When I was writing this book, I was scared. I was like, would people get the concept of a fictional story paired with smart money lessons at the end of each chapter? Would they get it, or would they just think, okay, this is silly? But I think that it made the whole concept of personal finance easier to digest. So I have people sending me messages saying, Arese, I am Zuri, who is the main character in the book. I feel like you're writing about my life. I have people saying, this has helped, me think about my money differently. This is a game changer. And it makes me really happy. Okay. I'm on a book tour at the moment. So I've gone to places like Uyo, Warri, Ibadan. We've had several events in Lagos. And the response, like meeting the women who have read the book like in person, is just so phenomenal. Okay. It has just been so phenomenal.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to let you speak more about the book.
Okay.
So consider it an on-air review. We're going to go on a quick break, but the review of The Smart Money Woman comes up immediately. Stay with us. So let's dance now, it is my turn. Just